Once more under the Bradacombs. Once more. Welcome, folks. This is going to be the March book acquisitions. Actually, I've only been drinking coffee. Don't go there. Uh, yes, March book acquisitions. I've said before, I call it acquisitions because I don't get enough books to call it a haul. Although the last 2 days I've had 2 days, 2 weeks, oh Lord, Brad, last 2 months I've actually had more than I usually wind up getting, and I think probably having this channel has kind of pushed me towards getting more. So I actually have a little bit of something to, a little bit of something to talk about when I do these. Better. So, to begin with, is a sort of a mistake. Thought I was getting the first out of this trilogy. This is a trilogy from Sharon K. Penman, following the tempestuous life of King Henry II and Queen Eleanor. This is actually the third book, Devil's Brood, which obviously was a third book in a trilogy. It's going to follow their decline and how they wind up. If you don't know, you don't know. So I'm not going to go there. The first book was when Christ and his saints slept, I believe, and that's obviously the beginning of both their lives before they become man and wife, king and queen. Up to the point, I think, where Henry becomes king. The second book is Devil's Brood. No, that was the one I just did. Time and Chance, and that, of course, follows their marriage and them having their 3 children. And I think that one goes up to Thomas Becket, the schism, whatever you want to call that, with Thomas Becket. That one, if you know, you know, and if you don't, either read the book or look up a little bit of history. It's will no one rid me of this troublesome priest, or meddlesome priest, whichever. No one was there, and no one wrote down what happened. So those are the popular quotes. And then the third one, this one follows obviously the disillusion of them being married, and the rebellion of the kids. Next book is again the second of a duology. I had to get this because I had the first one. Guy Gabriel Kay. This is the book 2 of the Sarantine Mosaic, and as you might guess, it follows a mosaicist that creates and builds the mosaics, taking place, obviously, if you know much about Roman history and the mosaics that they loved on their floors, possibly on the walls as well. It's a pseudo-Roman historical fantasy type book that kind of follows, how to put it. It's like an exploration of art and power, and perhaps even a little bit of how we like to, leave a little bit of something behind, either just for an impression behind for those we in our immediate circle, in our orbit, or for some people on a larger stage perhaps. But I've yet to get into those and hope to do so soon. I don't know what soon's going to mean with all these books that I've got to read. Next is the third book in the Nikki Chronicles. I've got the other 3, but was missing this one. I didn't mean to get that all shiny in your face there. That follows 2 characters from the main series, the Sword of Truth series of 11 books, I believe it is. And I know, I guess I won't go into too much, detail. If you've read the books, I've enjoyed them. As a matter of fact, I believe I'm going to reread the first one, the Wizard's First Rule, because I know in the past few years there's been a love-hate relationship with Terry Goodkind and his Goodkind, perhaps, and his writings. Um, a lot of people hate him. A lot of people think he was, and he was, very full of himself, very egotistical about his work. Uh, but if it's good, why not? Why not be a little egotistical? You don't have to piss people off, I guess, but But I'm thinking to go back and reread it and see if it still holds up for me. I enjoyed the entire series myself. Uh, Actually, having got the first book as soon as it came out, and as I say, quite enjoying it. Next this is the subscription, fantasy subscription from the Broken Binding group, and man, did they do a great job. Look at these. I know other booktubers have shown these, all the interior art and uh, you know all the stuff in there. I'm very much looking forward to this. Is the Bone Shard War, the not Sundered Nation, come on Brad, the Drowned Empire trilogy, Broken Binding edition, and it's a pseudo Japanese Asian. Boy, he's doing great today, folks. Mysticism sort of thing. I really haven't gone much into it, as I say, but all these other books, there's plenty. This was the next one. Exciting enough. It is a signed edition. Woo! This I'm going to have to read the insert on this because it's kind of difficult to explain what it is. This is not part of his Sigma Force series. This is a standalone. No other, as far as I recall, people in this book appear in any of his other works. Really, it's just coffee. So, the ritualistic murder of a British professor at the University of Exeter points to a startling cast of suspects, his own students. All are enrolled in a postgraduate program covering the history of witchcraft, folklore, and spiritualism. All evidence points to Sharon Carr, an American student. Prior to the professor's death, he had thrust a centuries-old book upon her that appears to be in the handwritten and encrypted diary of an 18th century mystic and occultist, the Comte de Saint-Germain. The professor begged her to keep the text safe, ending with a warning: trust no one. Such responsibility forces her into cooperation with Duncan Maxwell, a fellow post-grad and the 16th in line the 16th in line to the British throne. Already, Duncan has proven himself a savant with encryptions. Unfortunately, the pair clash at every levels, but they both need each other, especially when they discover the book's opening words: "Herein lies the secret to my immortality. Come find me if you dare." And I'll leave it at that. Woohoo! Now this one is just, I'm collecting all of Robin Hobb's stuff. This is the second in the Live Ship Traders series. And I've got the first three, the 25th anniversary or 20th anniversary editions of them. And just slowly getting them all as I can. Again, it's Robin Hobb. If you know, you know. The final two are Dungeon Crawler Carl and Carl's Doomsday Scenario. Now these I have all listened to, the audiobooks by Jeff Hayes, or the performance is Jeff Hayes' performance, and enjoyed the way he does it so much I figure I'm going to have the hard copies. So slowly but surely I will be having those in my collection as well. And, well, that's it. That's the last one I've got that I acquired in the month of March. That'll be it for now, folks. I hope you enjoyed that. If you got any questions, I haven't gotten many comments yet, so feel free to comment. Feel free to subscribe, and feel free to like. And feel free to keep joining us every time we get back in the Bratacombs. Thanks again, folks. Have a good weekend.